Trihebdo, welcome in Melbourne and thanks for the interview for a French magazine. In 2 days the big waves arrive. How you feel?
Feel quite good. It was, it was nice to go to Abu Dhabi 3 weeks ago and know that other people were racing there. Obviously, Aniko, Freddie, Rachel Joyce, Caroline Steffen. There was a lot of people that went over and raced and have decided to do the 2 races. So to know that it wasn't such a stupid idea to do 2 races so close together is quite comforting. And to be able to come home and recover at home and have the Ironman, a mile and a half from where I live is worked exceptionally well for training.
Do you think it's too much 3 weeks after Abu Dhabi? But for me, I don't think so, because it depends how you recover. But it's just 20k behind, and 20k is hard, but it's not so hard as a marathon.
Yeah, I think so. 3 weeks out, you're doing your last big hard training session anyway, and I chatted to the coach about it a lot, and obviously, Matt Dixon coaches Rachel Joyce as well. So the 2 of us went over there, and as you mentioned, it was only a 20-kilometre run, and that's a great seller. But I think this year also, compared to last year, the thing that helped with the recovery was the temperature. This year was about 26 degrees Celsius, where last year was about 38. So the dehydration aspect was totally taken out of it, and it was more just recovering from a long, hard day rather than anything else.
Sunday will be very hard because a big start list you see with Crowley, with Liu, with Mackenzie, with Frederick. Do you think it will be a special tactical race? Everyone's waiting after the marathon, or do you think it will be hard bike?
I think it will be a hard bike. I've always said that it's not going to be an easy course. You'll have the likes of Clayton Fattel out of the water up front again. I dare say he'll have a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes here. I'm unsure how to pronounce the Estonian guy, but I'm pretty sure he will swim with Clayton. So we can't just get out of the water and start looking at each other. You've got to realise these guys are up the road, and I think at Busselton Ironman at the end of last year, Clayton showed that he got off the bike with 8 or 9 minutes over Timo, and Timo had to run him down. So we definitely won't be able to rest around and look at each other. And then the back probably quarter of the bike ride from the far turn back to Frankston, I think we'll have a headwind, and it's there's rolling hills, so the fatigue will kick in, and this is where the strength athletes will more come into play, I think.
So swim, every day we go for 3 days, every morning we see a big clapping. It will be very hard, no? Because I think the part of the Frankston is the sea is not the same from here.
No, and I think it depends on what wind direction it is, depending on how choppy the water gets and the little waves. It is quite shallow there in Frankston, so if there's a little bit of wind, then you can get a little bit of a wave and make it quite a challenging, more like a surf swim than I guess a bay swim.
The marathon will be very interesting because it's a one way to go, Frankston to Melbourne.
Yeah.
The first halfway will be very long run, very flat. But the end is not so easy.
No, and that's, I mentioned about the bike, and this is the other one that they always said, this is a road I cycle up and down, nearly every day. And the first section, we step off the bike and you can see the city off into the distance where you have to run to. But the first half it's quite flat and quite protected by the buildings and housing. But once you get to Mordialloc, which is around about that halfway mark, you are right down on the water on the bike path. And probably at around it's that part where you start to get a bit tired, 25, 30 kilometres. There's a few little rolling hills. They're definitely not overly steep, but they're gradual grinding hills and will definitely fatigue the legs. And the fast part of the course is early, and definitely I think those little pinches will take a lot of people by surprise.
Last question for the French magazine, a special one for France. We can think maybe we can see soon Luc Bell in one Ironman in France. You have only one, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually it would have been about 4 or 5 years ago. We went on a holiday to France and stayed in Nice, and I actually back then was with Luc Cycles, and we went to Nevers and toured around. It's such an amazing place, and having friends like Simon Gerrans and Greg Henderson over in that part of the world as professional cyclists, it's it's always a part of the world we love. We love the European lifestyle more than anything else. So I think I have to improve my descending skills. The going up the hill's good, the coming down the hill's not so good, but you know, that is definitely, it's one of the iconic races in the world. You look back at the days at Mark Allen and Simon Lessing, and it's a race that's definitely on the to-do list for sure.
Thanks, Luque, and have a nice race Sunday. All the best for you.
Thank you.